More than 80% of the US population currently lives in cities and towns. Before the majority of Americans became urbanites, though, we lived in rural communities where work and learning were activity-based and oftentimes associated with the outdoors. Due to this long history we have of once working in nature, we have developed an innate need to be around greenery. This connection humanity has with nature has been termed the biophilia hypothesis. This idea that we have become dependent on nature may explain why having trees and plants near to us seems to improve our academics and workplace performance. Nature, and especially trees, have been benefiting us mentally and emotionally since grade school. Nature has been proven to impact children's cognitive functioning. For example, a recent study explored how upon relocating to a greener home environment, young students exhibited higher levels of attention capacity. In another study, 96% of participating children drew natural settings or outdoor scenes as their favorite places. This is also why having an outdoor recess or lunchtime is so beneficial to the well-being of young students. Furthermore, time in nature is said to reduce symptoms of attention deficit disorder, which is oftentimes a learning obstacle many young students unknowingly face. Finally, for high school students, views of trees and shrubs from windows improved standardized test scores, graduation rates, and percentages of students planning to attend college. It is also important to note that children start learning from nature before they even enter a classroom space. Through play, children are learning through experience, and oftentimes this experience includes an interaction with nature. Due to this type of learning being self-prompted and based in the child's own curiosity, it is even more formative for the young mind. Play in nature is also usually very imaginative, thus further increasing activity in children's brains. Exposure to nature through play encourages exploration and team building activities, which can improve problem-solving skills, ability to respond to changing contexts, and participation in group decision-making. Furthermore, a child's connection to nature and the living things within it may allow for the development of moral understandings concerning autonomy, self-organization, and freedom. Spending time in nature can also be creatively fulfilling for children and teens. The increasingly popular subject of environmental art in schools allows for children and teens to express themselves and their ideas by blending art and nature. Oftentimes, the meaning behind environmental art created in the classroom is connected to global topics like urban forestry and climate change. For young adults embarking on their lives, exposure to nature can also be just as formative. Exploration in the natural world allows the mind to question and therefore yearn for answers. This instinctive desire to understand can spark discussions concerning the natural world amongst all generations. Having access to nature and trees is also just as important at the college level. College students spend a significant amount of time reading and working in front of their computer screens. In one study, the placement of plants within a computer lab improved the students' productivity while lowering their blood pressure. In other words, decreasing their stress. Trees and greenery play an important role in the college student's life out of the classroom as well. For example, college students who had a view of nature from their dorm room rated themselves as being able to function more effectively. Finally, another study found that if college students took a walk through nature rather than sitting in their dorm rooms, their attention capacity was higher. It is perhaps in the workplace where many Americans find themselves the most distant from the natural world. Many workplaces require individuals to sit in front of a computer all day, or they have offices arranged in small cubicles far away from any windows. From the office workers asked in one study, it was determined that plants made the work environment more attractive, more pleasant, and overall healthier. It has been proven that an absence of natural views or plants is associated with higher levels of tension and anxiety. Take a moment to think about how your workplace makes you feel. If you are experiencing workplace stress, consider adding a potted plant to your desk or planting a tree outside your window. Just the presence of nature will calm your nerves. It is also important for children and adults to experience nature and greenery outside of the formal classroom or workplace. After long periods of intense concentration or directed attention, cognitive fatigue can occur. This mental fatigue can then lead to irritability, lack of concentration, inability to solve problems, and an increased likelihood of making mistakes or causing accidents. Natural settings provide a restorative setting for our minds after a long day in front of the blackboard or computer. Therefore, it is important to remember that trees and plants can improve our mental state long after we have left the classroom or the office. Ready to get out and spend more time with trees? We welcome people of all ages to come volunteer with us and learn how to plant and care for trees in your community. For more information on upcoming events, please visit treedavis.org.